Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, says that the National Judicial Council will sanction judges who fail to deliver the required number of judgments quarterly. The CJN, who is also the chairman of the National Judicial Council, was speaking at a conference on judges' performance evaluation. She expressed concern at the declining performance among judges, noting that some judges don't deliver a single judgment in a quarter, a situation she said was unacceptable. The chairman of the NJC Performance Evaluation Committee, retired Justice Sidi Bage, said that judges who consistently perform below par will be removed from office.
At the last meeting of the committee, there was a reduction in case disposal as some judicial officers failed to deliver a single judgment in one quarter. This is simply unacceptable. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot wish away the growing backlog of cases or expect a different result when we continue to do things the same way. Unless we can justly, speedily and effectively execute our roles as judicial officers, the populace will lose their confidence in the judiciary, as it is mostly believed, rightly or wrongly, that the judicial process is often painstakingly slow and tedious. Delayed justice is denied justice.
The judicial performance policy will give prominence strategies to strengthen judicial performance through constant monitoring and evaluation, and through continuous monitoring and assessment of the adequacy of the facilities available to judges for efficient performance. Emphasis there is mine. 2.5.2. To this end, the Judicial Performance Evaluation Committee will strengthen the quarterly evaluation mechanisms already put in place and introduce new measures to ensure improvement or improved performance of judicial officers.
It's also our hope that your lordships will take advantage of this platform to share your various experiences and perspectives on this issue. It is also our hope that at the end of this conference, your lordships will provide us with necessary impetus to enhance our performance evaluation techniques.
Right, we're joined now by lawyer and Arise analyst, Dr. Sam Amadi. Thank you for joining us on Newsnight.
Thank you.
Is this a timely move by the judiciary? I mean, the failure to deliver a single judgment in a whole quarter. How terrible is that?
I think it's really terrible. But again, the question is, there could be many circumstances. I think this goes to, there have been two issues now worrying the judiciary. First is integrity, which is about uprightness, about the quality of judgment in terms of morality, in terms of behavior of judges, in terms of whether litigants have confidence that judges will deliver based on possible erroneous but good faith application of law to facts. The other issue is productivity, and this is what is at play here. You know, are judges productive? If you look at, and that goes also to the issue of rule of law and economic development. For a long time, I mean, with Sabakoba, we've done a lot of work in the past, court reforms processes, trying to say, okay, how do we ensure that the courts work better? And working better means the courts deliver judgment timely, because part of the criteria for assessing rule of law state is that people have quick disposition of justice. So you know that justice is dispensed quickly, because the financial cost of time is huge for investment and for economic development. And so productivity tools, you know, talking about maybe digitalizing, so that helping judges so that they can save time on longhand. Then also the big elephant in the room is also procedure. You know, our law is so layered that oftentimes judges don't have discretion. Judges don't take full control of proceedings. So you can see cases, for example, a case went to the Supreme Court. After 6 or 8 years, the Supreme Court says this case ought not have come here. I mean, that's really ironic and terrible. The U.S. Supreme Court will do a different thing. No case is to be heard until the court satirizes and says, we will hear this. So everybody's waiting for the beginning of the new Supreme Court here to say, which case has my Lord's justices certified hearable? Now, I think we have also mismanaged the rule of law jurisprudence. So everything is, you have a right to be heard, every application must be heard. So judges lack that kind of level of control to say, okay, this is how we manage this court in a way that we can dispense justice timelessly. So that's one aspect of it. Then also the issue of incompetence and laziness. I mean, that's part of what they're talking about there. So there should be some kind of peer review process, judges themselves. Now, and it falls on the Chief Justice of the Federation and the Chief Judges of the various courts. They have managerial control of judicial process. They can monitor and evaluate judicial officers and find soft way to nudge those who are slacking to be more productive. Again, you need also that we now have to improve both the jurisprudence, also support system. I mean, especially in the appellate courts, where you have, the best and the brightest students, clerking for judges. The whole notion of clerking is people don't understand. Is that they write those clerks, those top students, write those judgments. They discuss with the justices and they provide the legal support, the theoretical, analytical support for justices to write their judgments.
Let me quickly throw this in. What do you think these sanctions should entail, and how can how can they be enforced fairly?
First, judicial officers have both tenure and also disciplinary process. So the tenure guarantee, no judge should be, watching his back. I mean, the notion of adjudication is that a judge feels confident to make decisions that could not be in the interest of officialdom, including the managerial judges, who are the chief justices, who manage presiding justices. So we shouldn't make it so easy to bump off a judge on the basis that he's not competent. But at the same time, we should have a process that accountability. Now, look at what's happening in the world is a change. People are moving from assume that judges are gods. They say they enrobed Socratic kind of wiser one. No, people are saying, look, judges are not accountable. Look at the US, they're talking about tenure, they're talking about accountability in terms of code of conduct, in terms of filing for gifts and all that. So we can say there must be a clear process of assessing productivity. So if a judge has not delivered judgment for a whole judicial year, then he should be watched again as perhaps that at a point he could be bumped off the judicial bench.
And when they say submit quarterly reports as part of monitoring and evaluation, will that contribute to this assessment? To what extent?
I think it will be overburdened, and maybe judges shouldn't, fine balance here. Judges should not be scrutinized like schoolboys. So every quarter, judge says, I had a hearing. No, I think it shouldn't be too intense and intrusive. But the judicial craft is something that requires some level of autonomy. But again, it shouldn't be so not available, no scrutiny, no feedback, no evaluation. So the presiding judge of a division should have the capacity to lay broad criteria of assessment. So for example, if you don't have a judgment 2 or 3, they look at your docket. How many cases do you really have? So you have been assigned, let's say 40 cases, and you couldn't wrap up 1 in a judicial year, then there should be an eye on you. And so they should go back and look at your good faith, your qualifications, your ability to do this job. But again, look, let's start from the beginning. How do people get to the bench? So if we're going to allow our wives and daughters and best next of kins and significant others get to the bench because it's a political patronage, then we're going to get this kind of poor performance. So you have to fix it from the source. So they get people who are productive, who have shown. And we have many judges who are extremely brilliant and hardworking.
We're really out of time. Always a delight having you, Dr. Sam Amadi. Thank you for your insights.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful.